Genie grind and watch him get rich, huh? Remember when I said I hit a lick, huh? I don't really wanna fuck the bitch, what? Willie went and made another hit, okay, like Prada on my motherfucking kid, huh? Louis on my motherfucking hip, huh? Curry how I dunk, no switch, hey, fucking gonna fuck that bitch, hey, if you ain't gon' fuck with me, you a dumb fuck, put up a hit but feel like one punch, look at my bank and I'm getting dumb rich, and I'm gonna count it up till 100,
Hello world, I'm What If Studia, and today we are doing What If Deku was the reincarnation of the strongest hero, part 7. I think it's 7 at least. Anyways, we return to whence we had left off. Midnight slaps Deku before he can, well, go on any longer lying to her, at least as she sees it. Why did you leave, Deku? You left everybody behind. For what, a vacation? Do you even know what has happened? So much. People have died, Deku. And you just left. Even after I did what I had to do. Did what you had to do? What, you mean? Yes, that's why I did that. She starts blushing as he looks very confused. So, it wasn't because of me? No, trust me, there was another reason. It was because you're a combination of everything that I love in this world. Children and my husband. You're everything, okay? And you dare just leave? I thought after we did that, I thought that you would stick around. I thought that you gained my trust. You gained your trust. How could you just leave? For the simple sake of power? I thought you were better than this. Well, I see that your power has gone up since last time. What? The simple trick of making it actually be able to have us stand on top of it? My clouds, that's nothing. No, you're just evolving. I'm simply impressed. Well, thank you, but isn't that a 13-year-old in the ground? You know what? Never mind. No, I can explain all of this. You know what? There's too much going on here. How about we just explain this while we're off the mountain, please? As she lifts up her gas as it comes out from the ground. After all of the, monsters were all slept, she takes all the gas from outside of them, and then it starts to pick them up into the sky, and they start making their way to town. It'll take about 2 weeks to get back to where we had gone from. As he says, nah, make that about 5 seconds. She's like, what do you mean? I still don't trust you fully again. So you better watch yourself, mister. As he's like, just watch, alright? As long as it doesn't kill us, okay, Deku? Also, should I pick up the girl too? He's like, yes, of course. Did you not? Jesus Christ. She's like, well, I didn't know. A naked 13-year-old girl on the ground, I don't know. Whatever, it's your job anyways. I don't care. He's like, yes, please do pick her up. Jesus. Alright, I'm just gonna speed this whole entire thing up. As he sinks his hands into the cloud and releases electric flow throughout it. Midnight instantly covers up with the clouds around her. As then they speed off into the direction of, her house and then crash land into the tree. As Deku uncements himself from the ground, from his whole entire shorts that he had is now covered in dirt, and the girl in the tree, and Midnight hanging down from the tree. She says, okay, now that we have some time alone, explain yourself. Well, you see, I actually was going to the mountain to get stronger. To get stronger? I don't believe you. How do you not believe me? You're the type of guy that goes to do something with multiple reasons to do it. You don't do one simple thing just for the sake of doing it. Come on, don't you lie to me. You've already said enough. Also, you seem much more immature. Something more has happened to you. Alawa. Well, you see, I'm actually a combination of both Alawa and Deku. Her eyes sort of light up as her hand goes up to what he thinks is a slap, so he flinches. However, her hand delicately places itself onto his face as she looks into his eyes. She says, "My God, you're right. You are a combination of the two. So that's what you're doing there." Huh. Incredible. I knew all of your answers were a little bit immature for Alawa to be explaining himself, but too intelligent for it to be Deku. Huh. Intelligent? That kind of hurt. No. It's simply, there's two different types of intelligent, you see. Emotionally intelligent and actually intelligent. Emotionally intelligent people are the ones that know when they're hurting somebody's feelings when they're talking. Somebody, just because they're intelligent, doesn't mean that they know people. Alawa doesn't know people. He will just immediately, insult you if you don't give him a good reason to not. Deku, also bad at this, but since you both are combined together, you sort of make up for that loss. It's refreshing. Both of you. Both of the two men that I fall in love with. Huh. I'll give you a second chance. How about that, Deku? A second chance? You mean like a second date? No, a restart date. How about this? Hi, I'm Midnight. Namuri. That's my first name. I'm the strongest hero. Alawa is my name. And Midoriya. No. Just Alawa this time. How about that? I like Alawa. It sounds like how you are. Alawa was always too skittish of a name for the strongest hero anyways. I guess you're right. As she takes up his hand, she says, "How about you get dressed and, well, we make our way into town." Actually, you know what? I might want to just buy new shirts and pants because I don't want to wear a dead man's clothes. She's like, "Fair enough." As then they start to make their way into town, Deku and her go on a shopping spree. Her blue eyes had interrogated him before, however, they turned to sparkling blue waters, calming him as the sea does normally. He always loved the sea, and she always brought that feel to him, no matter what the conversation was. He gets new clothes, some leisurely clothes, like something like Banana Republic, because she's freaking balls deep rich. She sort of gets on her own, summer garb that she had from her house. The date is going actually swimmingly, as, they rediscuss the whole entire reason why she had sex with him is because it connected him to her, made him feel bad for leaving. And that was her whole entire plan. She actually is kind of proud of herself that it kind of worked. And how much he had missed her exactly while he was gone. It hurt him to leave. She's like, "Well, I'm thankful for that." He says, I would say so too. And then she's like, "Yeah, but what about the 13-year-old? Until they hear a gigantic explosion from the bank nearby. Two robbers come outside with gigantic sacks of money on their back. One is immediately charges straight at Deku as Deku's in the middle of his escape path and tries to stab Deku in the stomach. However, Deku grabs his hand and then immediately unsheathes them by twisting the hand backwards, him releasing the knife from his hand, and then Deku stares into the guy's eyes with the intimidation just, skyrocketing to a perfect 20 if you were to in a video game. The guy's brought down to his knees and then lets go of the money. And then he's like, "Good choice." But he was a little bit too focused on the guy, and the second guy comes up behind him with the knife aimed at the back of Deku's head. He is instantly slept by Midnight as, he falls down to the ground, unconscious. Deku's like, thank you for the assist. She's like, no problem. I'll be here anytime. He's like, thank you. As then he looks up to see Gentle Criminal, a man with a very nice mustache and an even nicer girl by his side. He says, La Brava, grab the cameras. I have spotted somebody who'll get me a lot of clout. Deku's like, clout? Views? What the hell is he talking about? Midnight's like, you haven't seen anything online, have you, since you got to this world? And Deku's like, explains to Alawa, because they have separate memories still. They're not fully connected yet, like them as a conscious mind. Both Deku and Alawa are both fused together, and their memories are not perfectly fused together yet. So that's still a thing. However, Deku quickly shares internet, and he's like, yes, views. Why is a villain going for views? Like, he isn't really a villain, is he? And Deku's like, not really. Well, from what I can tell. They're like, I am so sorry. I would say sorry for the heathens that had, tried to rob the bank, but they were currently under our employ. They weren't supposed to do this. We must say sorry for their transgressions. We'll be taking them back to headquarters now. And Deku's like, so they were under your employ. Gentleman's like, oh shit. Maybe I'm gonna have to fight my way out of this. And Deku's like, so you're saying you were employing them for villainous activities? No, just simply employing them in general. What would the use of employing criminals give you? You're not even allowed to do that if they're federal. Gentleman's like, enough of this talk. Do you want us to fight? Because by the sounds of it, you want a duel. As Deku's like, sounds fair enough. As Midnight's like, I won't transgress. I mean, I am a hero, and if this comes to human casualties, yes. Deku steps forward, as does Gentleman, as he, pats La Brava on the head and goes forward. As Deku then, does a courtesy bow, as Gentleman's like, you're quite entwined, and, intelligible in, courtesy. Especially of Olden, though. What is this guy? As then he also bows, mistakenly, looking straight into Deku's eyes, trying to see what exactly he's thinking. As, Gentleman gets a lot of his power from going off of his enemies' attacks. And once they start the duel, La Brava, announces start the duel, as then none of them even move. As Gentleman nor Deku like going first. Deku is always a counterattack. He would love to go first. However, when fighting a new enemy, he is always cautious. Deku realizes that this is going to go nowhere and immediately zaps himself right in front of Gentle with a punch. Which, Gentle responds in kind by making a gelatin air, which reflects Deku's punch fully back, which Deku had used all of his force into that, and it kind of unhinges his right arm. He's now unable to use his right arm in this fight. He has to either break it back into, use, or wait it out until a medical professional can do it themselves. He just starts fighting with his left arm, as it's very tricky to not get his arm blown back and unhinge it. If he unhinges both of his arms, then he's unable to fight. So he's fighting on the back foot anyways during this whole entire fight, unable to use his right arm. Until he switches off into his legs, which are basically fully just turned into lightning. As he looks like straight up lightning dashing in every single which way, bouncing off of everything that Gentleman throws his way. Gentleman is unable to predict where he's going until he turns himself into gelatin, stopping Deku from doing a full bull charge, smashing his headbutting, gentleman. However, that just reflects back at Deku, springing him into the building that he was, that his subordinates had just robbed. Deku was like smashed into the wall, and then gentleman sees that he's once he turns himself back from gelatin, he's just going to be killed, because Deku is now turning into like serious Deku, like he gets lightning into his eyes. Labrava, reflects some of her quirk, using a little bit of it to help gentleman. And Midnight of course sees Labrava using some of her quirk, because Labrava can't really tell that she's using her quirk, it just kind of happens. But Midnight doesn't know that, so Midnight's like, they're cheating, might as well allow myself to cheat too. As the air starts to cloud into the middle of there. However, since Gentleman is now receiving the power from Labrava, he is now more resistant towards the air that is being sapped into there, that would be sapping his power normally by this point. He would at least be able to survive, about 3 more minutes than Deku can, because of Labrava's power. However, Deku then takes out the gas mask that he had stuffed away in his backpack. Then Gentleman's like, this guy's outsmarting me at every single corner. I can't beat him in sheer power, nor can I beat him at a quirk dance. Actually, I may have to use that. As then he turns the whole entire building into gelatin. Deku is unable to get a stable foot down on the ground, and then Gentleman just kicks him into the wall, bouncing him, and then he punches him, and then he kicks him again into the wall, and then he keeps on doing different combos, which Deku's unable to stop because he can't get a right foot on anything anymore. He's just bouncing and bouncing and bouncing, gaining speed, but not the type that he wants to, which then Gentleman used to his advantage to just destroy Deku. Deku by this point is out of energy and out of options, which then he kind of runs out of air, Gentleman, which then Deku uses this exact moment where Gentleman wanted to finish the fight immediately so that he wouldn't fall asleep. It was a drowsy punch. Of course, the softness of Gentleman's sort of punches were always quite soft, never meant to hurt. However, this was way too soft because of Gentleman being tired. Deku folds himself back behind Gentleman, and then slips his arms under his armpits, putting his hands up behind his head, and then forcing him to go down, forcing his head down, forcing him into a sort of half Nelson. Yes, I know, half Nelson, useless move. However, it was the only one that he could think of in the spirit of the moment, and actually was the good choice because he could hold him there in the gas and make him fall asleep. So then, of course, Gentleman is knocked out by the knockout gas. And, the store's safe. Everybody's fine. And Gentleman is like, fine, take me to prison then. As Labrava, comes out, she's like, no, don't, please. He just wanted to, get YouTube famous. Isn't that your dream too? God, Labrava, isn't that everybody's dream? Anyways, Labrava, gets really, all sad and sappy. And Midoriya himself is like super, is kind of affected by this. Even though he is fused with Alawa, Deku and Alawa's, sort of contradicting beliefs on, mercy and also sort of, what exactly is their goal right now. Alawa actually chimes in saying that he has a plan. And Deku's like, okay, fine. And Alawa's like, I will give you another way out of this. There is, of course, another way out of this. And Labrava was like, we'll take it, that's fine. Wait until I'm finished. I'm only giving this especially to you guys because you guys have the power that is needed to be a hero. You have the mentality, the sort of everything, and you carry yourselves quite cordially. Everything that I want to see in the new generation of heroes. How about, instead of continuing this, direct line of being villains, how about you come and be heroes? Like, in case nobody ever gave you the option to be a hero, become part of the academy. And I'll train you myself. Just be there on Wednesday, the training grounds. And, I'll accept you personally. And LaBrava's like, really? And Gentleman's like, no, he's lying, LaBrava. How could he not be? All that heroes do now is lie. They lie to the public. They lie for everybody. And Deku's like, you got one thing wrong. I'm not a hero. And LaBrava and Gentleman are kind of hit hard by that. They're like, wait a minute, he's not? What is he then? He's sort of this structural enigma. And that terrifies Gentleman, of course. Gentleman's like, maybe he's, actually means it. Maybe for all of us. That's a new hope. And thank you so much for watching this. I hope that you have enjoyed this next episode, and I hope that I'll see you guys in the next one. I will see you guys sometime, somewhere.